Number 10. City of Three Faiths. Jerusalem is known as the City of Three Faiths because it is sacred to Jews, Muslims and Christians alike. Each faith has a holy site in the city, and they all came here at different times, making it one of the most religiously significant cities on earth. For Jews, it's the home of the Western Wall, the last remaining section of the ancient wall that surrounded the Temple Mount. For Muslims, it's the direction that all of their mosques face when they pray. And for Christians, it's the place where Jesus was crucified and resurrected. This makes Jerusalem a very special place for people of all faiths, and it's a city that truly embodies the concept of religious tolerance. Number 9. Unearthing the past. In recent years, archaeologists have made some incredible discoveries in and around Jerusalem. In 2009, they found the oldest evidence of human habitation in the city dating back to the 10th century BC. They also found a number of other artifacts from the biblical era, including a seal impression that may have belonged to King David himself. These discoveries have helped us to better understand the history of Jerusalem and its significance to the Jewish people. But perhaps even more exciting is what's been happening outside the city walls. In 2015, archaeologists uncovered the remains of a massive wall that was built by Nehemiah around 500 BC. This wall was an important part of Jerusalem's defenses during the Persian and Greek periods. But it wasn't just the physical remains that were impressive. The archaeologists also found a number of inscriptions on the wall, including one that mentioned Nehemiah himself. These inscriptions have provided us with valuable insights into the culture and history of Jerusalem during a very important time period. Number 8. The Forgotten City. For many years, archaeologists thought that Jerusalem had been destroyed by the Babylonians in 586 BC. But recent excavations have revealed that this is not the case. In fact, the city was largely abandoned after the destruction of the first temple in 586 BC, but it was still inhabited by people from the surrounding area. These people lived in Jerusalem throughout the Babylonian, Persian and Greek periods, but for some reason, they never rebuilt the city walls or the temple. Instead, they lived in poverty under the threat of attack from neighboring kingdoms. It wasn't until the Hasmonean revolt against the Seleucids in the 2nd century BC that Jerusalem began to be rebuilt. But even then, it was only a small part of the city that was rebuilt. The majority of the city remained in ruins until the time of Jesus. It was only during the Second Temple period that Jerusalem became a major city again and eventually became the capital of the Jewish state. Number 7. A city under siege. Over the centuries, Jerusalem has been besieged many times. Perhaps the most famous siege was that by Nebuchadnezzar II of Babylon in 586 BC. The Babylonians completely destroyed the city and took many of its inhabitants away to Babylon. But Jerusalem has been besieged many times since then. In the 2nd century BC, the Syrian king Antiochus IV Epiphanes laid siege to the city, but he was eventually driven out by the Maccabees. In 70 AD, the Romans under Titus besieged the city, destroying the Second Temple and forcing the Jews to flee. In 1099, the Crusaders seized Jerusalem and massacred the city's Muslim and Jewish population. In 1187, Saladin recaptured Jerusalem from the Crusaders, and in 1244, the Mongols sacked the city. Jerusalem has been under siege many times, and each siege has left its mark on the city. Number 6. A place of pilgrimage. Throughout history, Jerusalem has been a place of pilgrimage for people of all faiths. For Jews, it's the holiest city in the world, and every Jewish male is required to visit Jerusalem at least once in his life. For Muslims, it's the third holiest city after Mecca and Medina, and every Muslim is required to face Jerusalem when he prays. For Christians, it's the city where Jesus taught and was crucified, and millions of pilgrims visit Jerusalem each year to follow in his footsteps. No matter what your faith, Jerusalem is a city that everyone should visit at least once in their life. Number 5. Hidden beneath the surface. Today, we often think of Jerusalem as a divided city. But did you know that there are actually 4 separate sections? The old city is divided between Jewish, Muslim and Christian quarters. But in addition to these 3 quarters, there's also a 4th quarter known as the Armenian Quarter. The Armenian Quarter is home to a number of important sites, including the Church of St. James and the Armenian Patriarchate of Jerusalem. But it's also just a normal neighborhood with shops, restaurants and homes. If you visit Jerusalem, be sure to explore all 4 quarters. You won't regret it. Number 4. A city transformed. Over the past century, Jerusalem has undergone a remarkable transformation. In 1917, the British captured the city from the Ottomans, and in 1948 it became the capital of the newly created State of Israel. Since then, Jerusalem has grown from a small city of a few 100,000 people to a metropolis of over 1 million people. The city has also become a major center of technology and innovation. In recent years, many of the world's leading companies have opened research and development centers in Jerusalem. The city is home to a number of universities, including the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and the Technion, Israel Institute of Technology. Jerusalem is a vibrant and dynamic city that is constantly evolving. But despite all the changes that have taken place, the city has managed to retain its ancient character. Visitors to Jerusalem today can still walk the same streets that were walked by King David, Jesus, and countless other historical figures. Number 3. Walls of the Old City. The Old City of Jerusalem is surrounded by ancient walls that date back to the time of the Kingdom of Israel. These walls are among the most iconic landmarks in the city and are a testament to the rich history of Jerusalem. The walls were originally built around the 2nd century BC by King Herod the Great and were later expanded and repaired by the Muslims and the Crusaders. Today, visitors to Jerusalem can walk along the walls and get a glimpse of the city as it was in ancient times. The walls are also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Number 2. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is one of the most important churches in Christianity. It's believed to be the site where Jesus was crucified and buried, and it's a popular destination for pilgrims. The church was built in the 4th century AD and has since been destroyed and rebuilt several times. The current structure dates back to the 12th century and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Number 1. The Western Wall Tunnels. The Western Wall Tunnels are a series of tunnels that run beneath the Western Wall. They were excavated in the 2nd century BC by King Herod the Great and were used to support the Temple Mount. The tunnels are a popular tourist attraction and visitors can explore them on foot. The Western Wall tunnels are a reminder of the ancient roots of Judaism and are a must-see for anyone visiting Jerusalem. Have you ever been to Jerusalem? What are your thoughts on the untold secrets of this amazing city? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you next time.